Are you ready to feel better? Are you ready to think better, move better? Are you ready to look better? Are you ready to get out there and do better? At My Wellness by Nature, it is all about the art of better living. We all have different needs. We all have different body types. We all have different lifestyles, different jobs, the family dynamic. So what's going to work for me may not work for you, and vice versa. It gets overwhelming if someone says, this is the only way to do something. So what makes it really unique is that we put the power in your hands. We bring you the information, and then you are empowered to create your own wellness path. How cool is that? So My Wellness by Nature has created this whole team, this whole community to bring you all of this information, all of these tools to put in your toolbox and guides your wellness rather than treating your illness. It becomes a lifestyle. It's not just, again, the craze, the diet, the workout routine, what latest yoga class. You're gonna find what works for you, and it truly becomes a new life. Why am I a part of this? Because I have been flat on my back, not able to get out of bed, depressed, my body riddled with pain. Your body temple, it's supposed to be a temple. I treated my body like a trash can. And it has been a long journey to figure out my own wellness path and what works for me so that I can live vibrant. And now I want everyone to feel amazing, live their most lit up life so that you can walk in purpose. We all want to be of purpose, right? So it starts with us. That's why it's My Wellness by Nature. We're not just gonna shove all this information at you and your head explode and then you've got to go home and like, I gotta do this by myself. And that's often when failure happens because you don't have accountability. We are all in this together. So all of the contributors, myself, this is a community. We're in this together, and I'm telling you, when we start to heal ourselves and then collectively we join and do this together, we really will help heal the world. I am so proud to be creating Generation Wellness together. On today's So Thrive, we get super deep into some of the favorite topics that you, my So Thrive tribe, are passionate about. We've flown wellness TV and radio personality Dr. Derrick DeSilva all the way from New Jersey to Southlake, Texas for an insightful conversation about better living. Dr. DeSilva, an internal physician, is considered a pioneer in many areas of medicine and innovative technology. You might recognize him from his guest appearance on The Real Housewives of New Jersey, but I know him better as the doctor's doctor for anti-aging and My Wellness by Nature. Dr. DeSilva, it is so good to finally meet you. I feel like I know you. I binge all your videos. So you're in Texas. I was wondering if you're gonna wear boots today.
You know, I was going to wear boots, and I promise the next time, I have great boots.
But you have boots?
Oh, are you kidding? I've got a collection of boots.
Your next visit,
Promise.
I wanna see the boots. Okay, so let's just rip the Band-Aid off.
Okay.
Talk about what's top of mind right now. 2020. It's been a remarkable year. Have you noticed major changes, or have you had to do what we're hearing, the pivot, the shift in your own life?
So 2020 for me has been very enlightening. I've used the time, and every single patient that comes in has a story. Every patient, Tiffany, it's incredible. And I try to take them from a negative into a positive. Let's not talk about the negatives. Let's talk about the positives. How have you grown? And I think turning that conversation around with people is important. We have to find joy in the simple things.
I am an addict for joy.
It's called oxytocin and endorphins. That's what it's called. That's what joy brings you. Going for a walk.
Yeah.
Spending time with your loved one. Going to the beach. Playing with your children, playing with your grandchildren, I'm telling you.
Joy sparkers, I call them joy sparkers.
Yes, and if nothing else, sit outside. I love grounding.
Oh.
Earthing.
Yes, take the shoes off.
Take the shoes off.
Yes. touch on that too for anyone that doesn't understand what grounding is? I know I lived in California for a long time, so anytime I was feeling stressed, I knew to go straight to the water and walk and the negative ions and all of that. So can you explain what that does exactly?
What happens is that our body is under constant attack. Inflammation, the prescription medicines we're taking. We have too many of these bad ions that collect in our body. When your feet touch the ground, and this is real science, this is not voodoo, all right? This is for real. Look up Dr. Steven Sinatra. In fact, I just interviewed him on a program that I'm doing. You take your shoes off and you walk on Mother Earth. You are going to send all the bad ions out and all the good ions back in. Now, one of the best places to do this is at the beach. Why? Lightning hits the earth 2,500 times a second. Lightning is constantly hitting the earth from all over the world. And that transformation of those ions into the ground, through the water, and into our bodies is extremely therapeutic. The best place to do it, and it's not to walk on the dry sand, it's to walk on the wet sand.
The water line.
The water is a conductor.
Yeah.
So it's a conductor that pulls the bad out and sends the good in. And people that have various maladies, they have joint discomforts, they have problems with their nervous system, they have problems with whatever. Go for a walk on the beach. Do you remember walking as a child on the beach?
Oh,
and
even
playing
just,
how good it feels?
Right, and even being barefoot constantly as a child growing up in Houston, and then going through health issues, and I had a holistic doctor tell me that. He was like, you guys go down to the water line and walk. If you can do 30 minutes, awesome, but even just 10, 15 minutes, the electromagnetic,
Yes.
right?
Yes, it's incredible.
It is literally. So what I've been hearing, that even just walking on concrete is better than nothing. True.
Because again, as long as there's a connection to the earth, that's what you want.
We live in a townhome with, I have to drive to a park.
Right.
And I thought, I'm going to try it. And you know what? I felt
It's
better.
Good. It's good. There's a place that I go to in Sarasota, and this beautiful, beautiful hotel. Right across the street, there is a little park, and they have seashells around the trees. So I go stand on the seashells and take my slippers off, and I stand on the seashells and just kind of hang out there. People look at me like, why is this homeless guy walking around here? You know? Who's this
Little
homeless
do they
guy?
know it's Dr. Z.
Who's this homeless guy?
It really goes back to self-love. When you're mindful of these things and you can get out in the world and actually implement them, take action.
Right.
And then real change. I think lasting change.
Right. It's those little teeny nuggets, and I think the website is a great way to start and get people on that right path of real wellness. But again, take the step.
Exactly. You're online shopping on the phone. Why don't you actually go and make a mindful choice? I wish more doctors had your mindset. And of course, you integrated the best of the East and the West. Starting these little things can truly change your whole life.
We hear the words, the longest journey starts with a single step. So do the simple steps.
Do you pop out of bed and you're like ready to go? If you're getting up in disarray, the house is going crazy, the kids are screaming, the dog's running around, you get on your phone and start scrolling, or that friend that texted you in the middle of the night some crazy toxic drama text. Oh, you forgot to eat breakfast. Of course. By lunch, your day is ruined. Oh, did you stop and meditate, pray, honor yourself? I was one of those people, I would jump out of bed in a panic and just like a mad woman. But when I learned to stop, take a few deep breaths, really was pivotal in my journey, my spiritual journey, my healing journey. Think of it as a meeting with yourself, with your higher power, with Source, with God. A time for you to sit with your thoughts, get primed for the day. So even if you just carved out and started with 15 minutes of quiet, if you could do it in a separate room. I get up, I come down, I have a big glass of lemon water, I start the coffee. I need a lot of God and I need a lot of coffee. I like to light a candle, play some soothing music, not music with lyrics because then you're trying to sing the song, just beautiful music, few deep breaths, honor yourself, take a moment to visualize how the day is gonna go. Maybe you have an important meeting. Maybe you wanna close that deal. Maybe you have a meeting at your child's school that might be a little bit stressful. Whatever it is, maybe you have a date tonight. So plan ahead, visualize it, set yourself up for a successful day. I invite peace in every day. When you are at a place of peace, I always tell women that is when you are at your most powerful. When you're at a place of peace and power, you can roll with the punches a little bit easier. I challenge you, take some time for yourself every morning. Don't get on the phone, and you'll see how your life is going to change.
The most overlooked organ in the body is what?
But the liver?
The liver. You are absolutely correct. Does anybody say, man, I wonder how my liver's doing?
Isn't it one of those organs that does regenerate?
Yes, but that has nothing to do with the function. Right. If your liver doesn't do what it's supposed to do, and it's fatty, you have a blood vessel that's called the inferior vena cava. It takes all of the blood, all of the venous blood, all of the blood that doesn't have oxygen, it brings it through that inferior vena cava, and guess where it runs? It runs right through the liver. If that liver is enlarged, if it's compromised,
it's like a filter.
Well,
right?
it's going to impede the flow. Our body is loaded with toxins, heavy metals, pesticides, herbicides, toxins in general. How do those toxins get cleaned? Through the liver. What happens if those toxins can't get filtered? Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, dementia, neurodegenerative diseases, and again, what I'm saying right now, I'm not even sure that we can put out there, but it's okay, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it, because if you look up what these toxins do, it is a liver issue that the liver cannot detoxify. Okay, so let me back up one more thing. So what do we need to do? What we need to do is, you're not going to avoid heavy metals, herbicides, pesticides, they're everywhere. Chlorine, fluoride, bromide, they're all. You have to clean your liver. Glutathione, N-acetylcysteine, milk thistle, schisandra, simple things like that. And you got to exercise. The other system that is very overlooked is the lymphatic system.
Oh. This is my jam. Even this morning, I ran cold water. I did a contrast shower, and I put it like the big areas here, my groin, the lower back. My lymphatic system was shutting down. I could not get out of bed.
Right.
It is the sewage system. I do dry brushing. I do the rebounder every morning, the little mini trampoline. So I do the trampoline while my coffee is brewing. I have my whole community, all my clients.
Yes.
So that's my morning thing, even if it's just 5 minutes.
And then brushing.
And then the dry brushing before.
Dry brushing.
To explain to people the importance, because I talk about it, and it's one thing saying, oh, well, Tiff is jumping on the trampoline and it's so cool, I want to do it too. But how important is that? If you're not cleansing and getting that flow going, even right here with breast cancer and those glands with women.
Absolutely. Well, again, you said it's the sewage system, right? It's the drain, it's the sewers, if you will, that cleans all the junk out. If that water is stagnant, if there's a stagnation, what's going to happen? It's going to become more polluted. It's going to become, this is where disease starts, right? So something as simple as sitting on a ball and bouncing on that ball it just makes everything move. And the lymphatic system is very, very sensitive to that. The other thing that you said was dry brushing. And I have this little brush, and it can be a very sensual experience, right? I mean, think about this. Everything's got to go towards the heart, right?
Yes.
So it's got to brush this way. You got to brush this way. It's got to brush this way. Imagine taking just say, all right, sweetheart, lay down. Yeah. Let me get this brush, and let me just rub this brush very gently on your body. Man, things are going to happen.
Right.
You're going to be
intimacy,
exactly.
and you're boosting your immune system.
Exactly. But think about that connection, right? Here you are doing dry brushing on somebody, you're bouncing, you're doing all this stuff together, and then you're creating this oneness, you're creating this intimacy, and all of a sudden, your relationship is better.
Yes.
You're more intimate, you're more sensual, you're more passionate, you feel better. Is that a bad thing? I mean, this is phenomenal.
We're saving marriages here.
We're saving marriages.
We're saving marriages here. I've got a challenge for you. But first, I want to have a little chat. So, have you ever been around someone, or they get you on the phone, that negative Nelly that is just spewing negativity? I mean, I know you don't do this. And you think, could you just have one phone conversation? Go 1 hour without saying something negative. We all know that thoughts become things. Or maybe you don't know this. Everything originates in our mind with a thought. So our thoughts become our actions become our life. So think about it. If you could replace the negative thoughts, think about pulling the weeds, and our mind is that beautiful flower bed, and you replace it with 2 flower buds. How would your garden look? How would your life look? So, this is the challenge. And I highly recommend it. Your partner in the house would really help. The accountability is if you say something negative, you have that negative thought, it flies out of your mouth, is to immediately replace it with 2 positive thoughts and say 2 positive things. And if you can go a whole 24 hours, that's a huge achievement. It's a win to go a whole 24 hours without letting these negative things fly out of your mouth. And you're conscious of your thoughts, you become conscious of your actions, you live a more conscious life. Can I hug you?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, queen. It's you and me, girl. Oh, that's what you have to do?
Yeah.
Frank, your stories. I'm in shock. That's how you guide your wellness every day. You just live that way instead of waiting till you get sick.